So, shall we start with your questions for Sarah Jane, please? Yes?
Out of North Korea, there have been quite a few military threats, specifically nuclear threats, threatening countries like America with thermonuclear war. Have there been any responses from the countries that have been threatened, like South Korea and the USA? And if there have been any, have they been effective?
There's been, I don't think there's only been any from South Korea. I think they've pretty much just, I mean, they've protected their country. They haven't really responded to North Korea and any of their threats. As from America, I think there's been lots of talks back and forth from them. What was the second half of the question?
Have the responses been effective?
I would say yes, because obviously no bombs have been set off. And but yeah, I don't think there's been any talk with from South Korea and North Korea, but I know America definitely done something.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes?
Has the firewall you encountered due to Korean internet restrictions?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay, questions for James, please? Yes?
Why do you think a country like North Korea, which started out as a very small nation with a dictator with not much firepower, has been allowed by the rest of the world to develop into a nuclear superpower and a very erratic nuclear superpower at that?
I think firstly it's because it's a communist regime. It's typically a communist thing to try and be above everybody else, and also because it's been so secretive and so secluded from the rest of the world. It's been quite difficult to monitor its rise until it suddenly has this firepower to threaten people like America and South Korea with. So I think it's all happened very quickly because they've only just opened their doors for people to, see what they're capable of.
Okay, any other questions? Yes? Sorry. Yes?
Yeah, do you think that the situation in North Korea will ever get to a point where other countries will intervene on a more permanent basis, like they might take action?
I think only if they cross the border. I think what they're doing to journalists in North Korea is obviously very unethical, but that's something that's very difficult to stop because obviously they have nuclear weapons and you don't want to provoke a country that is quite so erratic as North Korea. I don't know, I would, if they cross the border to South Korea, then probably, but other than that, they'll just be left.
Okay.
Is the border neutral?
Border neutral? What do you mean?
I mean, do South Korea and North Korea cooperate on the border to keep it neutral? Like a free zone that's not really North Korea or South Korea?
I'm not sure. Obviously, there's 2 million soldiers on the border. Saw in the video, it's the most heavily fortified border in the world. And there have been cases where North Korea have gone over the border. They sank the U-boat that was in South Korean territory, I think it was. I wouldn't say it was neutral, but I don't think that North Korea are daily coming over the border. I think it's still...
So the border guards don't work together as one then?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay, yes?
Since North Korea does not like the U.S. so much, do you know why when ex-presidents from the U.S. go over there to visit, journalists get released?
Probably because intimidation factor, the fact that they can do what they want behind their own walls, but once someone like Bill Clinton is there and is kind of saying things like to US citizen what they actually done wrong and they're ordering a release, I think there's not much they can do other than allow it.
Okay, any other questions for James? No? Questions for Argyle, please? Yes?
Do you think the issues of media censorship is a deep-rooted problem, or can you see a time in the near future when the climate might improve?
I think it might improve with the internet, but because people can post things on the internet, but they do get heavily criticised for it, but I'm not sure yet. It depends with the Bresh protests. If they become more popular and more well known, then people might interfere.
Yes?
Are foreign journalists freely allowed into Malaysia to report on issues or restrictions?
There are restrictions. They're allowed to report, but as long as the government approves of what they're reporting.
Thank you.
Is it still a sultanate?
Pardon?
Is it still a sultanate? Does it still have a sultan? Because you mentioned the old sultan in 2010's money was embezzled. Does it have a new sultan, basically?
Yes, I think it does. I'm not sure what it's called.
Any other questions? Yes?
You mentioned the government in Malaysia stated that they weren't going to sort of buy into direct censorship of the internet, but then they made it illegal for you to criticise the government online. You're liable for that. So do you think the promise they made before was just like a facade to make them look like a liberal country?
Yes, yeah, because even though they have a law to say that they're trying not to censor what's on the internet, they still are. So that question, yes.
Any other questions? No? Well, thank you very much, everyone. A round of applause.